Any enterprise data should be stored physically in some storage systems. It'll be either database, data lake, data warehouse, or data mart. These all storage systems are built for different purpose. In this video of part 2, we will see what exactly makes the difference and how can we decide where we will need to store the data for any particular given use case. If you are on a learning path about the data and haven't yet subscribed for this channel, please do like and subscribe and also press bell button for instant notification. Let us define all of these four one by one with some examples. Database is nothing but it is a storage system where we can store the data in a tabular format. So it will be a combination of columns and rows. For example, Oracle database, MySQL, SQL Server, IBM DB2, Vertica, and many more. And how do we define data lake? So data lake is nothing but it is a storage system where we store the data in a raw format. So maybe it is a structured format or unstructured format, we don't bother. So we choose data lake to store any kind of data dumped into this location. What are the best example of data lake? So it may be Microsoft Azure Data Lake, which we call it as ADLS, and Google Cloud Storage, Amazon S3, or Hadoop Distributed File System, which we call it as HDFS. Data warehouse is nothing but it is a combination of multiple databases. So multiple databases data or multiple data lake data will go to data warehouse, and it will be mainly used for kind of a reporting or business intelligence dashboard purposes. Best example would be Oracle Data Warehouse, Amazon Redshift, Azure Data Warehouse. To define data mart, it is nothing but a subset of a data warehouse. That means it is built on some specific use cases and providing easy and quick access for frequently requested data. For example, SSIS, SSAS, SRS packages, or it may be Azure Analysis Service Model, which is built on top of any data warehouse. Next, let's understand what are the deciding factors of choosing between these four storage solutions. To start with the purpose. Purpose is nothing but what is your use case and what for you are using it, whether you are using it for a reporting or a business intelligence kind of a dashboard creation, or whether you want to perform an analysis or you want to perform analytics on top of the data which you are storing, or simply you want to store some transactional data. All this will come into picture when we are talking about the purpose. So next would be the cost. Definitely all the storage systems are differ with respect to their cost, and they are designed for their own different purposes. So if there is a small amount of data and which is the most cost effective solution, it again depends. And if it is we are storing a large amount of data, and that in that case which would be the most cost effective solution, so that again depends on the factor that we choose between these four. So the next one would be the format. Format is nothing but what kind of data you have. So from the source system especially, and so the data might be in a different file formats. Maybe it is a structured data where it is in a tabular format, or it is in unstructured data, or it might be kind of some semi-structured data. So that depends on these file formats, and based on this file format we are forced to choose the solution among all these four storage solutions. So one more deciding factor would be the performance. So what is the performance that you are expecting, and what is the scalable option, or the scalability options that we have, so that we can get a performance that is expected for any given business scenario. So generally, now that we have understood these are the four main deciding factors based on which we would be choosing any of the storage solutions to store our enterprise data. So we might choose to have a database, we might choose to have a data lake or data warehouse or data mart. So that complete decision is will be made based on these deciding factors. With this, I think we can go for the next slide. where we actually start comparing with multiple factors when it comes to the real-time use cases. So I have considered a couple of parameters here, and also I have considered so all of these four options. So when there is a particular scenario, so for that particular scenario, which would be the best fit? So we are trying to compare that here. So let's see one by one. So when there is a database, when we consider a database, when we should go for a database, right? So when we should go for a database is like when we have a transactional data. Say for example, you have an application which is generating a transactional data and it's also performing an asset transaction. That means it is performing the updates on top of that data, deletes on top of that data. So there is a typical transactional scenario. In that case, we should definitely choose a database. And when we choose a database, what is the format that we are supposed to choose? So the format should be structured data. So whenever there is any other kind of data, we will not choose a database because it is meant only for structured data. When we're talking about the scalability, the database has a limited scaling capacity, maybe whether it is a horizontal scaling or vertical scaling. Both has its own limitation. So when we are talking about horizontal scaling or vertical scaling, what we mean is, so we can add more number of nodes, and we can have a distributed database, and also we can increase the configuration of the existing database. In both the cases, the scalability is very limited, so because there is a huge cost associated with that, and there is a infrastructure limitations as well. And we can choose database when there is a requirement of analysis of the data. So there is a difference between analysis and analytics. So analysis is nothing but the data which you already have, and you are performing some operation which gives you the insight of the existing data. The analysis, we just see the history. That means what we have in the data, so we will be just exploring that, and we will be generating the reports or dashboard based on that. So that we call it as an analysis. But when we talk about the analytics, it is nothing but you are performing some predictive kind of things. So you want to predict something in the future, or to have some machine learning kind of scenarios or AI kind of scenarios where you are performing a complex data transformation and analysis. So that we call it as analytics. So that database is not suitable for that kind of scenarios where we want to perform analytics. So it is best suitable where we have a simple analysis. And database again, when we talk about the ingestion mechanism, so it is well suited for batch kind of ingestion. That means there might be a daily schedule of batch running, or a hourly schedule of batch running for that matter. So it is only suitable for that kind of scenario, not for the real time. So next, coming to the data lake. So when we should go for a data lake is, so when mostly when the data is coming from a sensor kind of a data, and it's a real-time data, and also in few cases we want to bring the data into centralized location. So maybe the data can be bought from different databases and different file systems. So we want to dump in a one centralized location. So in that case, again, we choose a data lake. So data lake is more of a raw format where the data will be in a structured or unstructured or semi-structured format, and it will be completely raw. And we don't care whether we need the data in future or not. We just bring the data and dump it here, and later we think of the scenario where we would utilize this data. And next, coming to the format, as we were mentioning, so the format can be of any type. It can be structured, semi-structured, or unstructured. It may be any audio file, video file, or any file format for that matter, CSV, Parquet file format, any format for that matter. And data lake are generally highly scalable. The reason being, most of the data lakes are designed or built on top of Hadoop systems or cloud platforms. We can expect the analytics kind of scenario in data lake. So data lake is well suited or mostly used for analytics. It can be used for analysis, but it is not meant for analysis. And coming to the ingestion, so it is well suited for both batch and real-time kind of ingestions. So next, let us see when we can choose data warehouse. So data warehouse is well preferred when you have a OLAP, that means analytical platform. When we have to design an analytical platform, And also there is a scenario where you want to build a layer on top of an existing database for the purpose of analysis or report generation. So then definitely we choose data warehouse. And what would be the format when you're choosing data warehouse is structured data only. We cannot use any other data when we're choosing data warehouse. And scalability, it is moderate. Why we are considering it as moderate is, so when you compare this with database is very limited. Data warehouse is little bit moderate compared to database, because it is designed in such a way that it can hold large amount of data, and it is meant for holding large amount of data. And this is again mostly preferred for analysis, so it is not preferred for analytics. So whenever you have analytics scenario, definitely you should go for data lake. And it is whenever you talk about ingestion, data warehouse is well suited for both, again both for batch and real time, but mostly we will be using batch scenarios. Real time is very rare, and it is not recommended to use real time load on data warehouse, but technically yes, it is possible to load a real time data into data warehouse. So finally, when we talk about data mart, so data mart, if you see, we can prefer using data mart in all the scenarios where we are using data warehouse. But data mart is the subset of data warehouse. Suppose in an organization, the data warehouse is meant to store any data specific to any domain. Maybe the data might be finance data, sales data, marketing data, or the data might be of different regions. So entire set of data will go to data warehouse. But when we talk about data mart, only some set of data is meant for each data mart. For example, suppose we can have a data mart specific to sales. We can have a sales data mart, we can have a marketing data mart, we can have say finance data mart. So these data marts are specific for particular use cases, so that the data can be accessed very quickly. The whole idea behind data mart is design subset of data warehouse which is more specific to any subject, so thus providing easy and quick access of frequently requested data. Also, we can consider one more use case where we want to create a data mart which is country specific. So we can create 10 data marts for 10 different countries. So we can build reports which are more country specific using these different data marts for that matter. So the difference between data mart and data warehouse is, so data mart helps business to build a specific models for specific use cases, and also it helps to build business specific reports as we are building a business specific data marts. Also, it helps control access for specific users or set of users, as it's very easy to control the access since we have a business specific data marts created. So with these comparisons, I hope we understood that when to choose what. So based on the multiple scenarios, so we can evaluate what is the particular scenario, and based on the scenario, we can choose what would be the best fit. And additional with these parameters, there is one more parameter definitely, which is a cost. So cost is again a variable parameter. So whenever we have a less amount of data, definitely we can go for choosing the database. For less amount of data, there is no point of having a data lake or data warehouse. For less amount of data, these are more costlier. So whenever we have more amount of data, so then the cheaper solution would be data lake and data warehouse, uh, rather choosing the database. So it depends, the cost depends on the volume of the data, and so that is one of the parameter again to choose between these. With this, we'll go to the next slide where we talk about when we talk about enterprise data storage percentage. So we will understand what is the in any enterprise or in any enterprise solution, what would be the amount of data which will go to this different storage solutions what we are talking about. So let's see. uh, so data lake we are giving 40%. The reason is, so irrespective of what kind of data, so maybe structured, unstructured, semi-structured, and this data will come to the as a raw data, and it will be stored in a data lake. And also we don't care whether we need this data for further analysis. The intention is to just bring the data and dump into the data lake location. So that's the reason most of the data volume what we are talking will go to data lake. So next other things might be data warehouse. So data warehouse we are giving 30% because the data from data lake, the transformed data from data lake could go to data warehouse. And there is one more case where we can bring the data from different databases to data warehouse. So that's why we are giving it as 30%. And the data warehouse is meant to store huge volume of data for analysis and reporting purpose. Database is nothing but simply it is meant for storing some transactional data. And data mart, as we discussed, it is just a subset of data warehouse. So it is built on top of data warehouse, and it is very specific to business use case, or very specific to any given reporting scenario. So that's the reason we are giving 10% to data mart. So what the percentage we are discussing, maybe 40%, 30%, 20%, 10%. So this is not a exact numbers. So this is just a rough estimate, we would say. And so this is how, I mean, at a high level we can think the data is distributed in any enterprise platform. So with this we have understood when to choose what between these four storage solution, and typically what are the deciding factors which will come into picture when we are deciding the storage solutions. And also we have seen in any typical enterprise solution, or in any enterprise infrastructure, how much data will go to which storage solution. So with that I conclude this video. Thanks for watching.